Hello friends, my name is Doug and this is
Dale.
This is episode 44 on the restoration of a 66 Volkswagen Beetle convertible named Hendrick. And thanks for following along and being part of this. I'm shouting, oh, the furnace turned off. I don't have to shout anymore. It is like 30 some degrees, upper 30, 40 degrees in Michigan. Winter's on its way. We are very thankful for a heated shop to work in. So let's get started with today's episode. Love it when people leave a comment below or share a question, or if you're working on a project and this is helpful or inspiring to you, shoot us some pictures of it at thirdstallgarage@gmail.com. We'd love to see your project as well. Let's watch the little intro video, which is Dale's favorite part because he gets to see his car, and then we'll get to it. All right, Dale, so last episode we thought we had a solution for the trunk seal channel, and then we didn't have the seal. Now you got the seal.
I found the seal.
Great. Where was it hiding?
You know, it was in my shop.
Okay, great.
So
why is your car not in your shop?
It's not heated and I don't have welding tools.
Okay, but what did you learn?
You told me to do this fast and then you interrupt me.
And I'm trying to be funny.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
So the profile is the same as the engine lid seal, but it is definitely thicker and a little bigger. So I'm glad we went and got it. I also have watched a number of videos and looking close at original cars and whatnot, and definitely everybody has that channel go right along here. They do not have it farther down. I think that we are supposed to have this seal follow along here and have the hood close over top of it, as opposed to having that little half-inch flange on the hood make contact with this rubber. I think that's what we're going to go with. It's my car, I decided, but you do it. So
I love it when you make a decision and have to live with them.
So you get this guy somewhere in there and make it nice and all the things we were thinking of doing. And I think, Doug, tonight your job is to go around the entire hood area, including this upper space, that cowl, and and put in this channel. And then I'm going to be fussing with our fender and just I don't know, whatever, grinding a little of this and getting those holes to be pretty and make sure that this surface mounts to that to the body well, and that way I'm kind of out of your way, but I can also keep an eye on it.
Supervision is always good. Awesome. Well, let's get to it. I did the first two off camera, so the channel is on and they're not pretty. So, but I remember that on the trunk when we did that it took a little bit to get the hang of it. So I'm gonna work on doing 1, 2 more here, 1, 2 more there, and then we're gonna start working on curling this up. I did have to turn my welder down because that's partly why it blew through. Usually I operate on my Lincoln Weld Pack 100 for sheet metal on B with a wire speed of 4.5. And for this, I turned it down to A, and I'm gonna try 3.5 and see if that helps me not blow through, but also still get decent penetration. So we'll keep trying it.
Slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.
Here's our progress so far. I just wanted to, you're looking at me. Here's our progress so far. I was just asking Dale's opinion of it before I went too far, of what they would look like ground. It is a challenge with such a small hole to get good penetration down into the parent metal without just blowing out the thin channel. So what I'm finding happens is I weld in this little bridge here tends to blow out, and then I fill it back in with weld. So the weld ends up being kind of the hole plus a pot. Oh, you're not even on camera, sorry. The weld ends up being the hole plus this little area leading up to it. So I'll probably get better at it as we go, but I think that'll work. And it'll be covered up by a seal. So we have the welds in, getting close up to the edge, and Dale wants it cut right about there. Is it cut on a straight across, Dale, on a diagonal?
I think just parallel to the
joint in the apron.
Yep.
All right, we made the call to cut this after it was on, before we put this weld in, so we still have a little room to get behind it and cut it. I think I'm gonna cut it with a abrasive cutoff disc, and then we'll have to file out any burrs that are in there and smooth it out. It's clamped on. Dale, you're thinking closer?
Yeah.
So here, let me unclamp this. Where do you want it?
No, it was
Like butted up against it.
It really was.
Hold on, I gotta tighten the clamp. Do you wish I had run this a little closer?
It's tough to say. I don't know.
This is pretty close.
It is pretty close, and I think it's more important that we get these two to line up so that you're not fighting it when you put the seal on.
We can probably pull this in a little bit. Okay, but I think we're ready to pin this one down, and we'll start working our way up.
Shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain, you'll never hear me bitch, nah, I don't complain, just gotta flip the switch and you can go.
All right, so got a few on. You can kind of see the distance from the edge that we're tracking. Got a couple, that one's ugly. This one came out pretty nice. That one came out okay. Now I think as I get the hang of it, I've just gotta kind of rinse and repeat this a whole bunch more times. So we're gonna go up here, we're gonna go up there, and we'll go across the top. And if there's anything interesting, I'll show you. But basically it's more just that. Hi, so the upper channel is in all the way across the top. You can see I've cleaned them up already. I'm down to this last end piece, which is a little tricky. I have 1, 2, 3 holes to go yet. But the last one is a little too far out. So what I'm gonna do is trim this. Got my die grinder with abrasive cutoff wheel. I'll cut that before I weld it down. Then I'll drill a new hole there, and then we'll bend it in place. So let me cut this a second. Then I'll just file the end of it to get rid of that burr. Got a little tiny flat file. Don't want to cut myself on a burr, but also don't want the seal to hang up on sharp edges. round file. I just happen to have one that's the right diameter to fit the inside of that. There, my finger's not getting cut. All right, and then now it's a matter just of kind of bending it to size to fit. It's a curve around this edge a bit. You know, I kind of have the curve that I need this way. And I'll put a hole right at the end so I can get a plug weld right at the end of it. Obviously you want to be careful because you don't want to dive into the car. Don't care about my screwdriver. And then it's nice to clamp it down right next to where you're going to weld. Hold it in place. A good penetration, but I got a lot to clean up on that one. It's all right. It's all right. See if I can move my clamp down to the next one, and I can. Now we just got this last one on the end. What do you think? Clean them up?
Clean it up, call it good.
All good. All right, friends, we have the seal channel in several weeks after we thought we would, but yeah, nice pretty curve there. You know, it does not look perfect by any means. You know, if it was resistance welded or spot welded at the factory, that would look different than this. But I think once it is cleaned up, painted, and covered by the seal, I'm gonna be happy with that. So that's, I think, where we're gonna wrap up. We did notice this Baxter sander is a Harbor Freight. Baxter is the brand name belt sander. We've been buying 3M abrasive disc. What grit is it, Dale?
Mostly we use the 60.
The 60 grit. We've tried a couple different brands. People say the 3M lasts the best, and I think that's probably true. You do pay a little more for it. I've had this 2 to 3 years, and noticed it's been sounding a little different. And then noticed tonight when I was replacing the belt that this drive wheel has just got a ton of wobble to it. So I'm afraid we may have done more than that little bearing can handle. But, you know, for Harbor Freight, for a bunch of work on the Mustang and a lot of work on Hendrick, it's given us a good life. But if any of you have other brands that you'd recommend and endorse that might last the long haul, I probably would be willing to pay a little more and get one that would be the last one I bought, as opposed to another 2 to 3 years. So love to have your advice down below. All right, next week we are back on fenders, which Dale may have been getting a little bit of head start on tonight while I was working on the seal channel. That's solidly in step number 2 of our 6 easy steps. So check number 1, step number 1, check. And that feels good. So thank you so much for following along. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week.